The virtue of the day of ARAFFA, which this year coincides with next Monday, corresponding to the 9th of the month of Dhul-Hijjah for the year 1442 when the pilgrims of the sacred house of God stand on Mount Arafat in what is known as the Arafah stand, which is the basic and main condition of the Hajj rituals. And the merit of the day of Arafah is great, as there were several hadiths that show this merit on the authority of the Messenger, may God bless him and grant him peace. Among them, fasting on the day of Arafah. I hope that God will expiate the year before it and the year after it. The meaning of the hadith is that fasting on the day of Arafah expiates the sins of the past year, and prevents a fasting woman from committing sins in the coming year, God willing, indicating that it is desirable for non-pilgrims to fast on the day of Arafah, and it is disliked for a pilgrim to fast if fasting weakens him from standing and praying. As it was proven on the authority of the Messenger, may God's prayers and peace be upon him, that he was fasting on the day of Arafah. He narrated on the authority of some of the wives of the Prophet, may God's prayers and peace be upon him and his family, the Messenger of God, may God's prayers and peace be upon him and his family, used to fast the 9th of Dhul-Hijjah, the day of Ashura, and 3 days of every month. The first Monday of the month, and Thursday, which means that fasting on the day of Arafah, which is today the 9th of Dhul-Hijjah for non-pilgrims, is a confirmed sunnah. The virtue of the day of Arafah, it is one of the best days. According to the hadith of Muslim, there is no day on which God frees more slaves from hell than the day of Arafah. And because of the virtue of the day of Arafah, it is recommended to pray, to do a lot of remembrance, to remembrance of Allah, and to do righteous deeds. The Messenger, may God's prayers and peace be upon him, said, the best supplication is the supplication of the day of Arafah. The Messenger, may God's prayers and peace be upon him, explained the supplication of the day of Arafah. The best supplication on the day of Arafah and the best of what I and the prophets before me said, there is no God but God alone, he has no partner, his is the kingdom and his is the praise, and he is capable of everything. The scholars and jurists unanimously agreed that the ruling on fasting on the day of Arafah, which is the 9th day of Dhul-Hijjah, for non-pilgrims is a confirmed sunnah, where the Prophet, may God's prayers and peace be upon him, fasted and urged non-pilgrims to fast. The majority of jurists held that the ruling on fasting on the day of Arafah is not desirable for the pilgrim to fast on the day of Arafah, even if he is strong. Why did he receive a cup of milk while he was standing on his camel in Arafah? So he drank. Al-Bukhari included it. And on the authority of Ibn Umar, may God be pleased with them both, he performed Hajj with the Prophet, may God's prayers and peace be upon him, then Abu Bakr, then Umar, then Uthman. So, none of them fasted.